Hello everybody, welcome back to Sector 1. We are here tonight for some Category 1 racing action around the States Village.
Let's go. I wake up to a little bit of drool on my pillow, feel like it's gonna be a bad day. Yeah, I'm tired of shit, and the coffee ain't hit yet, damn ain't that great. I don't wanna go to work, cause my boss is a jerk, and I'm not even that paid. I need a change in my life, cause I don't feel alive, and there's nothing that makes me happy. Hold my beer for a minute, I'm about to quit my job, cash in for a ticket. I'm going on a trip and I don't plan to visit. I'm gonna stay there till I feel like I'm winning, and this is just the beginning. I need a big change, only feels like living. I need a big swing, home runs I'm hitting, and I'll never look back, moving on till I get it all. And we all got dreams, we all want things, but what you gonna do for it? How you gonna move for it? What you gonna be? And do you believe you can do anything? But what you gonna do for it? How you gonna move for it? What you gonna be?
Hello everybody, welcome back to Sector 1.
He only goes second 2! Oh my goodness!
Gee, she went wide.
Oh, he's run wide and goes dead!
Oh my!
Oh no! No! You can't do that!
Just see that steering wrist and put that curves.
Fuzzy is somehow keeping it on the track surface! It's a spectacular drive and he will take his first win in the top flight of Sector 1.
Good evening, race fans. Welcome back to Sector 1 Sim Racing live here on YouTube. My name is Carbon Boy and you are joining me tonight for round 6 of the Sector 1 Season 11 Apex season for Category 1 here at Red Bull Ring in Austria. It's got some beautiful weather here today. That statue is looking mighty fine, silhouetted in the afternoon sky. And I am very, very happy to be here. And I thank you for joining me tonight. Also joining me tonight in the comms box for race 1 for Category 1B is none other than Mr. Grovel himself. How are we this evening?
Yeah, not too bad, thanks yourself.
I am doing pretty darn well, thank you. I am actually quite excited to see these Cat 1 guys drive here tonight because I've had the pleasure of watching a little bit of practice this afternoon and they are setting some seriously cracking lap times. What are your thoughts on that?
Sorry, I was just looking up the some information from
fair enough,
guys
fair
have
enough.
sent through, but yeah, look, it's going to be interesting to see the difference in lap times between the these Cat 1 drivers compared to the Cat 2 from last Sunday, that's for sure.
Definitely. I am quite keen to see on how much they're going to kick my butt by per lap, so I have no qualms about that at all. That's the reason why these guys are in Category 1 and I am not, and it suits me perfectly fine. So we shall have a little bit of a look at the track map tonight. Now, being that it is a sprint round, our format is the simple 10-minute qualifying race 1 of 20 minutes, and there is the sprint bonus points available for a maximum of 10 points for first position, all the way down to 1 point for 8th. If you finish outside the top 8, sorry, no extra points for you, I'm afraid. And the results of race 1 does set the starting grid for race 2, where the full Group A points are available. So it does make for an excellent opportunity to pick up a fair chunk of extra points, especially if you can snag a pole position and a fastest lap or two, because you will get the bonus point for the fastest lap in race 1 as well as race 2. So there are 2 extra points available there, as well as a 2 for pole position. And being a sprint round, we have dropped the tyre and fuel usage down to 1 time, so nobody has to worry about tyres burning out or running out of fuel, unlike a race last week, but we won't go there. So basically all the drivers can just go hell for leather, put the heads down and set absolutely blinding qualifying laps for the 20 minutes, which should result in near as makes no difference 14 laps, maybe 13 if you're a little bit off the pace. Now, in terms of pit strategy, drive fast, don't crash. Soft tyres are the only tyres available. You don't have an option unless, of course, it does happen to rain, which with the weather set to random, the category 2A guys did find that out last week. That worked out pretty well for you though, didn't it, Grovel?
Yeah, it came as a bit of a shock from out of nowhere. I didn't even have my radar on, so... And to be truthful, when it did kick off the rain and I started seeing people going off track, I was just like, oh man, I've only got to make 2 quarters and I've got a podium here. And then we went over the start-finish line and I seen everyone start pitting and I was like, oh man, we've got another lap.
Oh no.
But to be honest, I probably would have just went for it anyway. So,
yep, high risk, high reward.
Yeah. It was just like when I seen everyone going off and then people pitting, it was just like got a bit of a lead. Roll the dice, if you might say, see if it comes up snake eyes, and see how it goes.
Throw traction control on 5 and just pray.
Yeah, that's what it was. As soon as it started pelting down, I was just like, I was fumbling because for some reason I can't set up my wheel with the dials to actually set the dials to do TC, but yeah, so I was clicking through switches and scrambling to try and get it into the TC all the way up, that's for sure.
Well, you got there in the end, so weather can work out a little bit chaotic for the drivers. We also saw that in the Nürburgring endurance round for the Category 1 guys a couple of weeks back. Where late in the race the heavens opened and caused a little bit of chaos. But speaking of chaos, hopefully we don't see too much tonight. What do you say we punch that big button and get qualifying started and see what these guys can produce in terms of lap times?
Yeah, just give me a second. We're just waiting for a couple of people to tick in.
There is always one, sometimes two, who are a little bit tardy, so to speak. That's okay. We'll check in with the YouTube chat. Hello, everybody joining us tonight. Hello, Mr. Revs. Hope you're having a good night. Same to you too, Mr. Bumcrack. Hello, Adam. Can't be too friendly to my team owner. I might be accused of having a bit of bias. Hello, Mr. Stranger. Hello, Bill, aka Aussie Psycho. If my memory isn't as horrible as I think it is. Hello, Mr. Debrev. Good to see you again. Hope you enjoyed the fun racing we had last night. A little bit of support from Heafy for his team owner. Artsy, who's up first tonight in Cat 1B, and Heafy will be racing a little bit later in Cat 1A. Hello to everyone else out there in the YouTube land who are joining us from wherever you may be tonight, whether you're on the go on your mobile or kicking back on your couch in the comfort of your lounge room. If you could do us all a favour and smack the like button, hit subscribe, you know the deal. Every little bit helps in regards to the YouTube algorithm and getting our content out there.
Okay, everyone, as far as I can see, is ticked in. I think we are still missing Morgan Davies, but so if he rocks up, he will have to be placed in the queue later on. And we have a couple of drivers that can't do the qualies.
Yes, there is two drivers tonight serving back of the grid penalties for indiscretions, shall we say, in the previous round. Those two drivers are Sneaky Stevo from Jamco and also Damo Reed from Doghouse. So unfortunately those two guys will be sitting out qualifying tonight, and we'll be starting from the back of the grid in race 1, but
We're good to go, so...
excellent. Unfortunately, no sign of Mr. Morgan Davies from Black Rose. We do have his teammate Boy Bagum here in the Black Rose Porsche, so maybe we can get a little bit of a tap into the Black Rose team racing communications and see what is going on there. Right, as we have drivers lining up in the grid, waiting to get out on track. And Category 1B qualifying brought to you by Boxer Beauty, one of our proud supporting partners here for Season 11. First out on track is Mr. Tim Durags from Jamco Racing in the glorious Ferrari 458. Followed by my boy Lenosis in the McLaren from APR Motorsport in the beautiful rainbow livery. Next up is Mr. Danico in the Hume Corp Peugeot, looking very quick tonight, I have noticed in the earlier practice sessions, so definitely someone to keep an eye on tonight. Next out on track is my other boy, Ricky Bobby from APR in the black-wheeled McLaren, looking very, very menacing at the moment on track. Another Peugeot that's been looking very, very quick in qualifying tonight is that of Dadson from Dadson Racing. He has been setting the timing sheets alight tonight, so definitely one to keep an eye on, and also running a very special Movember livery. Movember is a very worthy cause worth supporting, raising funds to raise awareness and support research for men's prostate cancer. So if you know anyone who is running a Movember campaign, I highly recommend just chucking a few dollars behind their campaign just to help them out. It doesn't have to be a massive amount, you know, $5, $500, whatever your wallet can spare. Highly urge you to make a donation, and of course I do believe most donations to charities are tax deductible. So there, Mr. Artsy, team owner for Thunder Motorsports in the gorgeous pink and black McLaren. We've got stickers for the team owner of Lightning Motorsport in the beautiful green Merlin powered Peugeot. Boy Bagum from Black Rose Racing in the Black Rose Porsche. We've got Hodes, the teammate to Danico. I'm not sure who's the number 1 or number 2 driver in Who Corp. You know what? I'm not going to touch that. I'm going to leave it alone. And we've got Big J, the teammate to Stickers in the other Merlin powered Peugeot. And of course in the pits we've got Sneaky Stevo and D Reed, who are serving their back of grid penalties, so they have been allowed to tick in. But they're doing the right thing by not setting a qualifying lap.
Oh, Dadson straight with a 1:29.6 first lap.
Tim Durags did set the initial fastest lap, but that was knocked off within a split second by Dadson, as you mentioned, who has not mucked around, and he's dropped a 29.620 as his first lap, which is that's bloody quick.
Lenosis is all over the back of Tim Durags, but he has a 0.5 penalty, so that'll take out this lap, unfortunately.
Yep, that will not do nice things for you.
It's definitely got that little hug wound up though, Dadson.
It does indeed. I hadn't thought that the Red Bull Ring was a track particularly friendly to the little Baguette Mobile, but it seems that there are quite a few drivers here tonight that are absolutely willing to prove me wrong. We've got Dadson on pole, we've got Stickers currently P3, broken up by Artsy in the McLaren and Tim Durags in the Ferrari in P4, and then we've got many more Peugeots. So Tim Durags solidifies himself in P3. Danico's got himself up into P4. Ricky Bobby currently sitting in P5. Lots of drivers I've noticed taking a very wide entry into turn 1, trying to extract the maximum amount of turn they can give themselves. Got to be very careful doing that, because if you run just that little bit too wide, you will get a half-second penalty for the corner entry. Not cutting the sausage curb on the apex, but for your very wide entry. Notice
I have noticed the McLaren seem to be able to cut the inside corner quite a lot. I think that McLaren's just that little bit higher than the other cars. So some of the curbs, it seems to just handle some of these curbs a bit better than some of the others.
I can confirm, as a McLaren driver, you can be quite liberal with hitting that curb on the inside of turn 1. The reason why I didn't is because I was terrible at it and took too much and ended up getting a penalty more often than not. So despite the fact that the car was able to do it, unfortunately the weak link in my equation was the driver, so I opted to just stay well away from that little sausage curb at turn 1.
I tried it a few times in the pug, and
there we go. Sorry, Lenosis has gone straight to the top of the table with a 29.3.
That's one of the guys that I was mentioning while I was thinking of the McLaren, because I seen him in practice really cutting that corner, and that can really give you a really good start to that lap.
Joining him on the front row of the grid, we've got an APR lockdown at the moment, P1, P2, with Lenosis and Ricky Bobby. Put himself into P2 with a 29.4 and has run a purple sector through the first sector. But he is right underneath the rear wing of, I believe that is Stickers at the moment. He's currently sitting in P7, so I'm not sure if that's going to hold up Ricky Bobby in qualifying or not. Dadson's been relegated back down to P5. He's got some clear track ahead of him. And he's got Artsy right behind him on track, although Artsy is just in front of him in qualifying at the moment. Artsy sitting P4, Dadson P5.
Stickers is only sort of 4/10 down from Lenosis' top lap, so if Ricky plays it right, he could get himself a little bit of a slipstream here as well. So not like Stickers is way off the pace and slowing him up that much. So yeah, he could grab a. Oh, saying that, Stickers just got a penalty.
Oh, Ricky Bobby has used that slipstream, as you said, has gone straight to the top of the table with a 29.146 and makes his way past Mr. Stickers down the front straight as he does so. Now, Lenosis had improved on his previous best lap. He'd set a 29.2. It has gone very wide at, well, most people call it turn 3. I really want to call it turn 2 because I refuse to acknowledge a slight bend in the road as a corner. But for the sake of consistency, we will call it turn 3. So he's run very wide there, and I think he may have just cooked his lap, as we are 8.5 minutes into our 10-minute qualifying session.
Yeah, he might be just cooling his tyres down a little bit too, I'm not sure, but because they should get 7 laps, and that'll drop the fuel out of it a little bit more. It's only on the 1 times, but he could be trying to set himself up for a one last shot. It'd be great to see a 28. That's moving.
Oh, that would absolutely blow my mind, I think. There might be a little bit of screaming out of the comms box from yours truly if that happens.
Like a 29-1, that's just ridiculous, but yeah, to see a 28. Oof.
Now I know we've got the APR team owner in the YouTube chat at the moment, so he's probably sitting back nervously chewing his nails at this point. As Artsy decides to ruin the party and pops himself into P2 with a 29.196. So
what's that? Is that 50 thousandths of a second?
I'm going to call it 500ths, but yes, same.
500ths?
Same.
Yep. And then that's only 0.
Oh, and he's put it into the inside wall at the exit of turn 3. So I think that is Artsy's qualifying done and dusted. That is going to be
Lenosis
P2.
Lenosis has got himself a penalty as well.
Oh dear. I've just got eyes on Ricky Bobby at the moment as the final lap has been called. Just want to see his sector split, see how Ricky Bobby's tracking. See if he can improve on his previous best.
Datson's up. 0.066 purples, only up a little bit, but if he can get a good run.
Ricky Bobby is down by 0.4, so we've got eyes back on Datsun. He's currently sitting P5. If he can nail these last 2 turns, aka the Red Bull Mobile, which I think is the worst possible name for a corner.
That last corner, you got to get that right. Oh, it looks like a nice smooth run.
Datsun does improve, puts himself up to P4. Bumps Danico back down to P5. Stickers has improved to P6. He was in P7 a little bit earlier. He will be quite happy with that. Tim Durags comes home with a 1 second penalty. Bit naughty there. Big J, half second penalty. He won't be improving. Boy Bagum is run and done. Hodes has come across the line. And I reckon that might just be everybody run
I
and
think
done.
because we've got the 2 guys sitting in the pits at all.
We will have to see out the full length of the timer. That is okay, because we can wait a little bit for the qualifying results, because I do have other things to talk about right now. So while we are waiting for that, oh no, our timer has kicked back, so let's have a quick look at our qualifying results. So, Category 1B brought to you by Boxer Beauty, and our qualifying results brought to you by Adelaide Ceramic Coatings. We have Ricky Bobby on pole position for APR Motorsport with a 129.146. And a mere 0.05 of a second behind him on the front row of the grid is Mr. Artsy from Thunder Esports in the, well, McLaren's looking very strong here tonight, because the first 3 cars on the grid, on the first car on the second row of the grid is Lenosis in the McLaren for APR Motorsport, joined by the Peugeot of Datsun from Datsun Racing. Third row of the grid is Danico from Hooncorp in the Peugeot, as well as Stickers from Lightning Motorsport in the Peugeot. And then in a strong showing for the Ferrari 458 from Janko is Mr. Tim Durags, joined by Mr. Big J from Lightning Motorsport in the Peugeot. Fifth row of the grid, we've got the first of the Porsches in the form of Boy Bagum from Black Rose Racing, with Hodes in the other Hooncorp Peugeot for company. And then on the sixth row of the grid, we have the other 458 Ferrari from Jamco, driven by Mr. Sneaky Stevo, and then we will have Damo Reed in the Doghouse Peugeot. Now, while we shall have to have the grid set manually tonight, that does give me the opportunity to have a little bit of a conversation about the points so far this season. So at this point in time, we have Lenosis from APR Motorsport currently leading the way in Category 1B on 123 points. Then we have his teammate Ricky Bobby, not that far behind him on 109 points. He has a very close company, a 1 point behind from Black Rose Racing, Mr. Morgan Davies. who is surprisingly absent still from the grid tonight. So I'm afraid that is probably not going to do his championship aspirations any favours. So if there's anyone from the Black Rose Racing team available on the comms, maybe a radio call to Mr. Morgan might be worthwhile. But in fourth place on the points tables for Jamco Racing is Mr. Sneaky Stevo on 102 points. Not going to... Well, hasn't got the strongest run tonight with a back of the grid starting, but he can only improve from there, I would imagine. In fifth place, we've got Dadson on 99 points. Then just a mere 3 points behind is Big J from Lightning Motorsport in sixth. 1 point adrift in seventh is Mr. Artsy from Thunder Motorsport. 2 more points behind is Boy Bagum from Black Rose Racing on 93. And a little bit of daylight back to 9th for Danico from Hooncorp on 81 points. And then we've got Mr. Rocky Bullfrog, aka Dama Reed from Doghouse Motorsport on 64. We've got Tim Durags from Jamco Racing on 61. Stickers from Lightning Motorsport on 54. And Mr. Hodes from Hooncorp on 33 points. Now, we also have the team's points available at the moment, so we'll have a quick gloss over those as well. So, currently leading the way for those is Kraken Esports with a very healthy lead at the moment. The Kraken Esports are sitting on 200 points. 21 points clear of a Jamco Racing team, who are having an absolute blinder of a season on their inaugural running here at Sector 1. So they are doing absolutely outstanding. Cannot deny that at all. In third place, we've got Rocky 05 Sim Racing on 171 points, so still definitely within touch. Fourth place is Dadson on 167. Fifth place is Doghouse on 160. Sixth place is Lighting Motorsport on 143 points. Black Rose in seventh on 139, who are currently equal with CP Motorsports. And in ninth place on 130 points, we've got Thunder Motorsport. And P10, we've got APR Motorsport, just 3 points behind. Then we've got the Blacklight Motorsports on 120, so there's a whole bunch of McLaren teams right there. Then we've got Hooncorp on 118 points, Zero Turn on their inaugural season on 105, and rounding out our team's points is Symmetry Motorsports on 65. Having a bit of a rough season, one could say. And then, of course, we've got our manufacturers' points. We've got Ferrari, of all cars, leading the way on 758 points. And in second place, with 170 points behind, is the little Peugeot that could. Third place, we've got the Porsche on 554. So still within touching distance, and possible overtake of the Peugeots, depending on results in the next 2 rounds, is the Porsche. And at the bottom of the field is the McLaren, and that honestly is not the way I thought things were going to go in regards to the manufacturer's title. But you know, my predictions accuracy is not exactly perfect, as history will show. So generally, whatever I tend to predict, pick the opposite and you should be fine, I would imagine. So Mr. Grovel, Mr. Race Director, how are we travelling in terms of getting the grid set?
We should be all set to go.
Excellent, that is what I like to hear, because to be honest, I think the people were getting sick of me talking about things. And just checking in with the YouTube chat. Hello everybody. Hello Keza. Go fast Artsy, what's wrong with you? I'm assuming that's encouragement from his one of his team drivers. I'm assuming that's encouragement. Mr. Bumcrack is saying bring on the rain. I am sure that there are a few drivers here tonight who would love that to happen, but we have our weather set to random, so whether the rain happens or not is entirely up to the GT7 gods. So what do you say, Grovel? We punch that big button and send it into race 1?
I think so.
Excellent. Let's
Good luck,
get it done.
everyone.
Alright, people in the YouTube chat, give me a top 3 prediction. No particular order, just who do you think is going to finish on the podium in race 1? I am keen to see it.
I think it's just a bit funny that there's 3 McLarens, then 3 Hugs in a row.
We
Like
couldn't.
if you bet
We
on
could.
horses, you would not win $1.
Yeah, we couldn't have orchestrated that if we tried. And we've got Mr. Tim DeRags and the Jamco Ferrari breaking up the Peugeot party in the middle there. Love to see it. As we've got the cars on the track into our usual rolling start. And we have the lights going green. Everybody is underway. Ricky Bobby leading the field. Got 3 McLarens, all pulling out wide, looking very single file, very pretty for turn 1. No incidents that I can see. Those 3
Odes, yeah. Odes went a little wide. I was just waiting to see, but he's picked up a penalty on turn 1, unfortunately.
Oh, there we go. I think Artsy has absolutely sent it at turn 3, and that has not worked out very well from him. He's gone for the absolute send of the season up the inside, or possibly just missed his braking marker and tried to get out of the way and not hit anybody. I think it might actually be the second option, because I'm looking at the wind direction right now and they have a 2.4 metre a second tailwind going up that second straight, so I think that might have just caught him out.
Tim DeRags also with a 0.5. So both of those guys, I think, will serve them this lap.
Tim DeRags started P7, he's dropped 1 spot. Big J's managed to get himself up there.
Not the first lap you want.
No, you definitely don't want to be dropping spots.
Mind you, it could be worse.
Dadson is looking very, very racy on the back of Artsy through those final 2 corners, but now finds himself under threat from Danico. Down the main straight, they're side by side into the braking zone for turn 1. Danico backs out of it. Decides he doesn't want to send it. I reckon
Danico with a penalty.
Oh, that might have been
Steve-O with a penalty.
Oh, that's going to hurt Danico. He was right on the back of Dadson there, backed out of it, and I think he might have just cut turn 1 a little bit too much. Gets a great exit out of turn 3 though.
Yeah, he's right up alongside him. He's probably going to get him too.
Which is a bit of a shame.
Dadson. No. Oh, it's going to be close. Oh, and Stickers is looking down the inside as well.
Everyone's looking very, very racy here tonight.
Yeah, you don't want to do anything stupid if you've already got a half-second penalty, so...
It does tend to bring out the a little bit of the red mist, the old race 1 of a sprint round. Everybody does tend to get a little bit feisty, but so far everyone's been... Well, it's been clean. I like it. But there is definitely a sense of urgency in the pack tonight in the field.
Yeah, especially when no one has to worry about tyres or fuel.
100%. Just drop qualifying laps for 20 minutes.
Exactly.
Drive fast, don't crash.
Look at that, a flat 130 first lap. Or 130.1. But...
I think
what was Ricky?
I think Lenosis would have had a little bit of slipstream there, but I recall the qualifying time was a 29.1.
Yeah, so Ricky Bobby did a 130.2.
Oh, here we go. Sorry. Boy Bagum's looking down the inside of Big J, coming into turn 3. Can he get it done under brakes? Very, very tidy. Racing room being left, but Big J...
Oh, someone's been spun.
There's been a massive moment there at turn 3. I think Danico has had a little bit of a moment there with Stickers, judging by the fact that Danico is lifted off the throttle and he's waiting for Stickers to catch back up to redress. So I might just see if I can catch that on our LJ Media Action replay.
That's a shame. Yeah, he's let Stickers through.
Stickers was a little bit wide coming out of turn 3 up on the ripple strip, but I think there might have been a little bit of touching on the inner quarter there from Danico, so he might just be playing it safe and redressing as a safety just to avoid the ire of the stewards.
And Lenosis has got himself in front of Ricky Bobby and just did a 129.9. Oh, Sneaky Stevo went 29.8. I was going to say, Sneaky Stevo never got to qualify, but in practice he looked very, very fast.
He's looking very, very fast on track at the moment. He started, P11, he's up to P7 on the lap 4.
P12, I believe. He was in last. There's been a few penalties thrown out there, but 29.8 race pace, he's got his running shoes on, that's for sure.
Definitely, as he's up the inside of Boy Bagoom coming out of turn 3. He's into P6, he's got that done. He's on the rear bumper of Big J. He's gonna have a look here into turn 4, I think. No, Big J covers off. Oh, Sneaky Stevo puts the nose in.
Yeah.
Wow.
Boy Bagum's going to have a look as well. That's going to leave Big J on the inside.
That was forceful. That was strong. Oh,
yeah.
Sorry, I shall retract the forceful. I will go with strong. Might just take a quick look at that on the LJ Media replay if I can.
A little, fun. I wonder what's happened there, because Dadson's pulled up a little bit as well. Sorry?
Right, Dadson in P4 at the moment.
Yeah, there was a fair bit of a gap between him and Thunder Artsy by like 1.7 seconds, and within half a lap or so, he's brought that down to like a second. Sneaky Stevo is now into 5th.
He's on an absolute charge at the moment. There's 1.1 seconds between Sneaky Stevo and Dadson.
He's only 4.8 seconds off the lead.
Those guys up front definitely going to have to watch their 6, because that Jamco Ferrari is looming very large and very fast.
Yeah. He has got the foot flat on that.
Now I have just noticed that our race timer appears to be playing funny buggers. But that's okay.
Just over 7 minutes, I think.
It's alright, I can fix that. It's probably because I've been cutting to the replay, but that's alright, we can fix that and get things going again. It is all good.
Well, Sneaky Stevo is now in slipstream of Dadson.
Let's jump on board that Jamco Ferrari. Let's go for a bit of a ride around the Red Bull ring with him.
Yeah, he's pushing that thing. Oh, look at that, at 29.4.
4.75 from Sneaky Stevo on lap 5. This bloke is not mucking around at all.
No. This is either his favourite track, one of his favourite tracks, or he is just, yep, he's just loving it by the look of it. Even if he can't get onto the podium, it's going to put him in a really good spot for the second race, and I think them guys in front are going to really have to watch out.
100%. This is definitely sending a strong message to the guys in front of him, saying, hey, I can make up 6 or 7 spots from the back of the grid in a sprint race. If I can start from even P5 in the next race, you guys need to watch out, because this guy is definitely quick. He is right under that rear wing of Dadson now. And I think the APR boys and Artsy might want to hope that Dadson can hold him up a little bit here, because we're not even at the halfway point of this race yet.
Yeah, I reckon that Ferrari's probably going to snavel him up down that front straight. I could be wrong, but he's right on that tail, so I reckon he'll go for a pass. Oh, he's inches off his bumper.
He is in the slipstream down the main straight.
Oh, can he get him or not? No, it doesn't look like it. Maybe on this bit of a straight.
Maybe not this lap, but it's definitely looking ominous for that little Peugeot.
Yeah. The thing that helps the Peugeot is it's got that out of the corner sort of bit of pace. It's not real great sort of from mid up, but just that sort of low down.
The way
out of the corner, it sort of does well.
The way the Peugeot can get its powered out of a corner frustrates me no end.
Yeah, I think it's because it hasn't got much.
it definitely helps. Doesn't get any wheel spin.
Yeah, there goes Sneaky Steve-O, has gone past.
Oh, there we go. I was just checking with Big J, currently sitting in 6th, Boy Bagoom in 7th. Tim DeRags is still thereabouts in 8th, but he's going to have Damo Reed coming in. He's at P9 at the moment. He's made up a couple of spots from his back of the grid penalty. And Stickers and Danico are quite a ways back with the earlier incident that we saw. And I think Hodes has had a bit of an incident, a bit of a shocker as well at some point. His lap time's 1:35 there on that second lap.
Yeah, he has picked up a couple of penalties. So yeah, but Big J, yeah, he's moved. I think with a few of those penalties and a few things going on, and some very clean driving, he sees himself up into 6th place. So I'm sure he'd be happy with that.
So Lenosis out in front at the moment. He has managed to build himself a 1.5 second lead over his teammate in Ricky Bobby P2, who is managing to hold off Artsy to the tune of 8/10ths. And there is a 2.2 second gap between Artsy and Sneaky Steve-O at the moment, but I do see that gap dropping down because Sneaky Steve-O, the gap's just fluctuating a little bit around that 4.6 second mark behind the leader, which is, it's been fairly stable at that range for the last few laps.
We've still got, what, 4 laps? A bit over 4 laps to go.
I'd say 6 for these top guys.
Yeah, I can't remember how many laps we did.
The quicker guys will get 14.
Oh, no.
Sneaky Steve-O's pinged himself a penalty.
Yeah.
That is going to hurt.
That's going to put Datsun right back on his ass too.
Datson's 1 second behind. If Datsun can run a really quick lap this time around, that might let Datsun sneak on back past.
Yeah, that'll be right on him, which is sort of pretty fitting considering he's in a prostate livery. But anyway, I'm just glad it's not bum crack driving it.
Oh dear, so many jokes we can go with, and it's well before 9 p.m. So I can't say any of them.
No.
But you get the gist. So Big J still has Boy Bagoom for company. Boy Bagoom doing a little bit of the Craig Lowndes, show the nose into turn 3.
He's under 2 seconds. Sorry, he's under Arts. He's now under 2 seconds. So that penalty is really going to hurt him.
Big J's having none of it.
Yes, Nicky Steve-O has taken out about 7/10ths from Lenosis from first place in the last, since he got past Datsun.
Well, Artsy at the moment, he's going on full attack towards Ricky Bobby, as if to say, hey, Sneaky Steve-O's coming in hot, either hurry up or get out of the way, because I don't want to be there when he gets here.
Yeah.
He's closed that gap down from 8/10ths down to, 3/10ths. And he's looking very, very racy right now behind the back bumper of that APR McLaren.
Yeah, well, Sneaky Steve-O has maintained a pretty good gap over Datsun.
And he has served that penalty by the looks of it.
Yep. Boybegum all over the back of Big J. They're getting very racy down there in 6th and 7th as well. Boybegum is looking for a move.
He's been looking very racy on the back of Big J for the last couple of laps, just hasn't been able to seize the opportunity as Big J goes very defensive coming out of turn 3. He's holding that inside going into turn, I want to call it turn 4, but there is a slight bend before it, so let's call it turn 5.
Yeah, I like to say, I think it's just that little bit of extra that the Peugeot has coming out of those corners. It just helps it. Like, it doesn't have that top end, but there's not a lot of big straights on this track.
So they come through Ralch into Worth. I'm giving up on the corner numbers, I'm just going via corner names now. It's through the Worth S's, well, it's not really S's, I don't know. And the last straight through Rint and then into Red Bull Mobile, which is my biggest gripe about this entire track. That final corner, you can be on an absolute blinder of a lap and it all comes undone in half a second.
Oh, sneaky Steve-O, he's got within 1.3 seconds of Artsy and he's given himself another. Oh, Artsy's also got a 0.5.
Oh, this has gotten very, very interesting up the top. I reckon on both the Thunder and the Jamco Racing Team comms now there would be quite a lot of colourful language going back and forth.
It's one of those tracks that's very, very easy to get a penalty, I must say.
100%. The track limits here at Red Bull Ring, they do not muck around.
No, sometimes it's a little bit hard to figure out where you actually got it too, but maybe that's just me.
I usually know pretty clearly where I get mine. So both Artsy and Sneaky Steve are going to be serving their penalties this lap. So they're going to be equally handicapped here, which will drop them off the back of the two APR guys up front.
This battle between Big J and Boybegum, I think that's allowed Tim DeRags to actually get up because he's very close. Actually, he's gotten right up into Slipstream, and I think it's also bringing D Reed up with him as well. He's not far behind, so Tim is saying that. Tim's just got himself a half-second penalty.
I was just looking at Tim DeRags there thinking, yep, he's about to join this Boybegum Big J party, but yeah, that half-second penalty says, no, you will not. And to be perfectly honest, that half-second penalty could put him in danger of getting overtaken by Mr. Reed from Doghouse Motorsport.
I've probably got a little bit excited.
That will
Sneaky Steve-O, sorry.
That will put Mr. Reed into the bonus points position of P8. So
Sneaky Steve-O.
Still leading the way for Ricky Bobby. Thunder Artsy, he's a little bit off the back now. Or he's not going to be on the attack for Ricky Bobby. He's going on the defensive now because he has a very feisty Sneaky Steve-O on his rear bumper.
Sneaky Steve-O is less than 2 seconds from Lenosis after starting last.
That's definitely some food for thought here for the next race. I think the APR boys are going to have to get their running shoes on, so to speak, because that is a massive amount of time to have made up.
But sorry, was you saying before that Lenosis had pulled quite a bit of a gap on Ricky Bobby? Because now it's down to like half a second.
He had, but he has been running fairly consistent low 1 minute 30, sorry, sort of low to mid 130 laps for the last couple of laps. So that has let Ricky Bobby sort of get back up to within the 3/10 that he's currently sitting. And Artsy's also along for the party, 4/10 behind, and joining them now is Mr. Sneaky Stevo. So we've got 4 cars within 1.5 seconds of each other. 3 McLarens and a Ferrari.
Now within 1.1 second of each other. This is crazy.
And I would dare say that these 4 drivers, as well as Dadson, will get the 14th lap. I think the top 8 here will get the 14th lap. But I could be wrong. Well, I probably am wrong because I've been wrong many, many times before. But I think we're going to keep the eyes on this top 4 battle at the moment. Because it'll only going to take one of these drivers to put 1 foot wrong, and that could be disastrous for their race.
I'll keep a little bit of an eye out on the back of the grid because I think there's a bit going on between D Reed and Tim DeRags. DeRags got that penalty and dropped back a little bit, and so that's put him into the clutches of D Reed, who's pushing really hard.
Speaking of pushing hard, so Sneaky Stevo, he's all kinds of sideways out of turn 1. Manages to avoid copping the penalty.
Yeah, he's not letting up on that. And we are on our final lap, so...
Has been announced, so it's all or nothing. Oh, Artsy's got a not so great run out of turn 3 there. He might have been checked up a little bit by Ricky Bobby.
Oh.
Sneaky Stevo is looking for a way past, nothing doing. Ricky Bobby goes defensive, Artsy also goes defensive. Sneaky Stevo wants it around the outside of turn 5.
He gets pushed wide.
Oh, there was not a lot of room being left there. That was, I'm not touching that, I'm leaving that well alone. Might just have to consolidate here, bring home a P4, which after starting second last, or last, can't quite remember, but either way, starting at the back row of the grid, P4 is definitely nothing to sneeze at. Meanwhile, Artsy's still wanting, looking and hunting for that P2. But I don't think he'll get it unless Ricky Bobby runs extremely wide here at Red Bull Mobile. Not going to happen. So coming across the line with a little clip of the wall is Lenosis, joined by his teammate Ricky Bobby P2, Artsy P3, Sneaky Stevo with a brilliant drive bringing home P4, Dadson P5, Big J P6, Boy Bagum bringing home P7, Tim DeRags P8, D Reed P9, Danico P10, Hodes P11. Pardon me. And that is our race 1 run and done, brought to you by Box Beauty. So let's have a quick recap of those results. So race 1 results are: on the podium is my boy Lenosis from APR, joined by my other boy Ricky Bobby also from APR. Oh, duh. On the final step of the podium, well hold on to, is Mr. Artsy from Thunder Motorsports. Sneaky Stevo with an absolutely stunning drive, I must say, bringing home P4 and picks up the extra point for the fastest lap with a 1:29.475, which is absolutely bloody rapid. It's a good nearly 3/10 faster than the next fastest lap, so just, or 2/10. Alright, 2/10, fine. Either way, it's bloody quick. Then we got P5 in Dadson in the little Peugeot that could, P6 Big J, P7 Boy Bagum, P8 Tim DeRags, P9 D Reed just outside of the points, which is a bit unfortunate, but still a great drive from the back row of the grid. Danico P10, Hodes P11, and Stickers rounding out our field tonight in P12. So while our race director gets our grid set for race 2 tonight, I shall have a little bit of a check-in with our YouTube chat. Good evening, Mr. Brocky. It seems like he's been in communications with Black Rose. in regards to possibly getting a Category 2 driver in the field for some teams points tonight. That's all right. Our podium prediction, Brocky had Ricky Bobby Lenosis Dadson. Oh, he got 2 out of 3, so not bad there. Steve-O is on a mission. Steve-O on the loose. Yeah, boys are not wrong. He was definitely a man on a mission tonight in that first race, and I would definitely keep an eye on him for race 2, because if he can nearly make the podium from the back of the grid, imagine what he can do starting from P4. Given that my 2 teammates are in front of him in this race, that's a little bit of a terrifying thought for me, not gonna lie. But yeah, look, the racing is what it is, and brilliant racing is brilliant racing no matter who is involved, so I am excited to see it regardless.
I feel a little bit for Stickers, because I think once he seemed to have a bit of pace tonight, and he was doing all right. And I think that there was a little bit of an incident there at some stage, sort of.
Yeah, I think that
he didn't seem to recover.
That early coming together definitely knocked a little bit of his mojo off, to speak. Sort of broke the rhythm a little bit, unfortunately. But
yeah,
sometimes that is how the racing goes. I have experienced that myself. You have that little bit of a early incident on in the race, and just the whole mentality changes. So it's definitely something that is tough to come back from.
Yeah, sometimes it just breaks that little bit of a rhythm that you've got.
100%. But hopefully we can see him. We can see him bounce back for race 2. So I will definitely hope that he can.
We're all set whenever you would like to go.
That is music to my ears. So YouTube chat, throw in your predictions for the podium for race 2. Keen to see if anyone can get the trifecta this time around. So whenever you are ready, Mr. Grovel, please punch that big colourful button and let's get race 2 underway.
Yeah, good luck everyone. Yeah, I don't want to put the mocker on anyone, so I'm not going to say anything just yet on my driver of the day. I think I've already picked that.
Well, there's definitely some strong contention for that, as we have drivers on the track. Everybody's getting very, very nervous, I would imagine, right now. They've seen the pace from Sneaky Steve-O. They know what he can do. And the lights have gone green. We are underway here for race 2 at the Red Bull Ring. Single file again. Sneaky Steve-O does have a little bit of a look into turn 1. Shows the nose, nothing doing. But he is 100% on a mission here tonight. Fans out, looks defensive into turn 3. Was that Ricky Bobby going for a move on his teammate? Or was that... I think that was Ricky Bobby just trying not to go into the back of his teammate.
Yeah. Sneaky Steve-O's already having a sniff. Well, he's getting Ricky Bobby though, he's moving around. So stunned to Artsy.
Well, there's a lot of defensive.
I reckon at that break, I reckon Sneaky Steve-O got him to take the rear view mirror out of his car and just threw it away.
Yep. Just jumped on board Sneaky Steve-O at the moment. Riding with him as he puts the nose up the inside of Artsy. The door was open. He walked through it. As Artsy's arguing the point, he's hanging it around the outside. This is brilliant.
Well, he's done.
But Sneaky Steve-O manages to get it done. through the Worth curves, I do believe that was. Yes, I did get the corner name right. I can't get the corner number right, but I will get the name right.
Don't ask me either.
Alright, so that's put Sneaky Steve-O up into third. He's going to put the head down and he's going to be chasing down the very colourful APR McLarens in front of him. He's got some work to do because these boys are not slow.
And we've got that other little pack sort of sitting there as well. Big J Boy Begum and Tim Durags. And I think, oh, Danico's up there as well.
Well, Dadson in P5, but he has picked up a half-second penalty, so that is going to throw him back into the clutches of Big J and Boy Begum, who have picked up where they left off from the last race.
Yeah. I reckon they're all keen to get going again by the look of it.
Definitely. Well, Tim Durags is... Oh, hello. I've just noticed that we have had a Black Rose driver in the form of Morgan Davies. Thank you, Morgan. Nice of you to join us. Quite late, I must say. Why do I sense that daylight savings time is going to be the reason for this?
I was just thinking the same thing.
Because it is bang on 7:30 p.m.
Hey, did we miss something? Sneaky Steve-O is in second.
Oh, there we go. Yes, we did. Sorry, distracted by a late driver. But Sneaky Steve-O has made his way past. Oh, he's picked up a half-second penalty. He's got the purple lap, but that has been knocked off by Artsy, who's done a 1:30.054. And I reckon there'll be a Ricky Bobby screaming with joy right now, who's got Artsy side by side with him after turn one. I think Ricky Bobby got a little bit squirmy coming out of turn one.
Yep, Sneaky Steve-O, he might get away with his half-second penalty.
Yep, there's a lot of fighting going on between Ricky Bobby and Artsy that is slowing them both up.
I wonder if Sneaky Steve-O might have got a little bit of a help with that. Could be wrong. He might have got a little bit of a tap, but...
So in that little battle pack behind, I think Boy Bagum might have had a little bit of a moment because Tim Durags has made his way past. Oh, and I think there was a little bit of touching going into turn 5 there from Tim Durags on Big J. He has lifted off and run a little wide. And he's let Stickers and Boy Bagum go on through.
Datson's pulled himself right up on this little fight between Artsy and Ricky Bobby as well. Oh, Ricky Bobby with a 1-second penalty.
Oh dear.
Oh, wow.
And Dadson did serve a half-second penalty earlier in the previous lap, so he's done and dusted with his penalty time.
So Sneaky Steve-O served that half-a-second penalty. He's just over a second from Lenosis. He's got a second over Ricky Bobby, who has a 1-second penalty.
So that's definitely going to put Ricky Bobby behind Artsy. Possibly even close to... Oh, no, wait, Dadson's just gone past Artsy. I think Artsy just got a very...
Artsy must have an issue.
He must have had a terrible run out of turn 1 there because Dadson just blew past him on that straight.
Yeah, I wonder if he's having some sort of issue, Artsy, because he has dropped back quite a fair bit.
Just having a look at the lap time. He's done a 1:31.9, so compared to Dadson's 1:30.4. So definitely an issue to the tune of 1.5 seconds. The exact cause of that issue, not sure.
It's going to be interesting to see what happens with Ricky Bobby's penalty and where Dadson and Artsy slide up. That's a huge penalty.
Definitely.
Oh, does he get away with it? No, Dadson's done. Artsy's, it's a sandwich.
He's gone very, very firmly defensive there in the final 2 corners, but I think he's
Lenosis.
managed to minimise the damage as much as possible.
Sorry, too much is going on. Lenosis has got himself a penalty, and Sneaky Steve-O is 1 second off him. Less than a second, he's in slipstream.
Looks like penalties are going to be the deciding factor in this race, because they are making all sorts of mayhem. As Sneaky Steve-O is currently 3/10 purple in that first sector.
Dadson's still holding third.
Dadson in P3, just quietly. He will be absolutely chuffed with this if he can hold it. But he's got a very angry Ricky Bobby and Artsy behind him. And not to mention, not that far adrift anymore. We've got Big J, Boy Bagum, and Stickers on an absolute charge. He's up into P8.
Yeah, he's come from nowhere, Stickers has.
Well done,
He's reset
Stickers.
himself. Yeah.
He's managed to get a little bit of mojo back for this race by the looks of it, which is awesome to see.
Sneaky Steve-O, he's done a flat 130 and he's 4/10 up.
Oh, he's looking for a mid-29 here.
He might get caught up a bit by Lenosis though. Yeah, he's right on his bumper now.
If I was Lenosis, I'd be a little bit worried and a little bit sweaty right about now.
Yeah. Yep, he's definitely got the eyes straight forward. Like you say though, Datsun, Ricky Bobby, Thunder Artsy, and then we've got Stickers, Boy Begum, Tim DeRags, D Reed. Tim and Boy Begum both with a penalty. Whew. Up and down the field, it's happening everywhere.
I don't know where to watch at the moment. I do have the cameras on Sneaky Steve-O as he got a little bit squirmy out of turn 1 there. He's still purple again.
D Reed for Doghouse, he's up the inside of Tim DeRags. He's going to make a move on turn 3. Does he get it done? Oh, he does.
2 1 minute 30 flat laps. He's definitely on a mission. That pack still with Dadson, holding out, holding his own over Ricky Bobby for now. Just want to keep an eye on this battle for the lead though. I don't want to miss this if it happens.
I reckon all Lenosis will be able to see out that rear view mirror is a big prancing horse, I'd say.
100%, there'd be a big Jamco logo on that bonnet. Although I don't think Lenosis will be doing much looking behind him right now.
Stickers up into 7. Well done. He's on a charge.
Definitely, he's got himself back into the top 8. Recovery drive. So Lenosis currently with the fastest lap. He's turned on the afterburners in response to Sneaky Steve-O. He's dropped a 129.9 in response to Sneaky Steve-O's third consecutive low 130 lap. So he's definitely responded to the challenge. Ricky Bobby's managed to get himself back into P3.
Yeah, I was about to say, and him, Datsun and Artie are still going at it.
I wonder if there was a slight error maybe being made of maybe Datsun didn't quite get the drive out of a corner, which on a track like this, getting a good exit of a corner or compared to an ordinary one with a long straight after it, it's make or break. It's everything.
This brought Big J up on Datsun's ass as well. Oh, Datsun's not giving up though, he's having a look at Artie.
Definitely, he's on the attack and on the defensive at the same time. That's multitasking for you.
Big J, exactly the same car, so, and Stickers behind him with another Peugeot.
So quick check back in, up the lead. Lenosis still running defensive down the main straight. Doesn't want to give Sneaky Steve-O the slipstream, who has dropped a 129.927. So 25.
Oh,
and all crossed up out of turn 1.
Yeah, I got a little bit excited. I just thought there was a bad penalty coming then, but it looks like they both got away with it.
Well, the funny thing is, he's still hauling on Lenosis into turn 3. Like, even getting all sorts of sideways, so...
He
touching
is
on the
really
rear bumper.
pushing that. He's given that everything it's got, and another 10%, I think.
Lenosis is going 100% defensive. He is not giving him anything. Now I've seen
Could get the
Sneaky
switch.
Steve-O try it around the outside in the previous race. That didn't go well for him then. I think he might just be remembering that. He's going to have to choose his move very carefully, I would imagine. He's got plenty of time. We're only 11.5 minutes into the race.
It's purple.
So he does have time to be able to sit back and analyse Lenosis, what lines he takes, where he's strong, where he's potentially weak, and just be able to just pick your moment. But at the same time, you've got to still be there. You can't make any mistakes yourself. You've got to be there to be able to make that move. And mind games down the main straight. The weaving has begun. Well, continues, I should say.
They've certainly turned out to be very fast, these Ferraris this season, that's for sure.
100%.
Not to mention the drivers behind them, but
I think the Ferraris have been selected by teams and drivers who are best equipped to be able to extract maximum performance out of the car. Because if you threw myself into one of those cars, I certainly would not be capable of doing this kind of driving with it on a consistent level. I would be backwards into the weeds at a rapid rate of knots about 4 laps ago. So
yeah, I actually pulled one out just before we did race at Red Bull, and I haven't driven it since pre-season. I only did a few laps then, but I pulled it out. It took me 7 laps to beat my fastest lap time in the Peugeot. So
wow,
it's it's pretty quick. Let's just put it that way.
So that gap has just dropped back to half a second. Lenosis has a little bit of breathing space for now. They have completely dropped to the rest of the field to the tune of 5.7 seconds back to Ricky Bobby, who is still leading the way in P3 over Artsy. Dadson in P5. Big J has dropped a little bit off the back of these 3 guys. He's in front of his team owner at the moment, who's currently acting as rear gunner. Against Boy Bagum, who's in P8. And then there's a fair whack of daylight again back to, well, we've got D. Reed, Tim DeRags and Danico in a Peugeot Ferrari battle as there's all kinds of sideways and a massive accident at turn 1. I think Danico might have just caught the rear quarter of Damo Reed there coming out of turn 1. And possibly helped him along his way. I think Reed was already a little bit sideways at that point, but I think that might have just been a very, very unfortunate situation where there was no ill intent, just 2 cars trying to occupy the same amount of real estate on track.
It looks like D. Reed has actually given him the spot, so maybe he thinks he was at fault. So,
speaking of occupying the same bit of real estate on track, Lenosis and Sneaky Steve-O, still half a second between them. It seems like Lenosis has just decided he's going to turn on the pace a little bit just to offset the threat of Steve-O coming up behind him.
well, they're now 6.8 seconds ahead of Ricky Bobby and Artsy. Now those 2 guys will probably slow it up a little bit because they're battling each other and Dadson. So, but yeah, there's a massive gap to those 2.
Sneaky Steve-O now has the fastest lap with a 129.767. Bloody rapid.
Off to Div 1.
Yep, see you mate, bye. That extra point will help him in his championship aspirations. Right back underneath the rear wing of that McLaren.
Yeah, he seems to back off for a lap or so and then pushes really hard for a couple of laps, and if it doesn't work he seems to sort of give it another lap or so and then has another crack. So Lenosis with a bit of a wobble coming out.
He's definitely a lot more patient than yours truly.
Wow, he's got
around the outside there is very, very brave. Wouldn't recommend it into Worth because you will run out of track very, very quickly.
Lenosis held it though on the inside too.
He's holding up underneath the blowtorch level of pressure quite well so far. Quickly check in with the battle pack behind them. Ricky Bobby's got nearly a sec. Oh, he got about half a second on Dadson. He's got just over a second on Stickers. Stickers is up to P5. There we go. Comeback drive.
Yeah, nice work, Stickers.
There we go. Driver of the day, worthy nomination driver right there.
That's what I was saying. I was a bit disappointed because he was doing well at the start, and he had that. There was that bit of an incident, and he's dropped right to the back.
Artsy's back down to P6, Big J P7, Boy Bagum still in there at P8. Back to this red hot battle up the front. It hasn't abated. We're on lap 12. We're looking at 14 laps. Lenosa still running defensive. Coming into turn 5. AKA Schlossgold.
If Lenosis gets a half-second penalty, he's done for.
Oh, it's game over. Actually, if either of these drivers get a half-second penalty, it's game over for them.
Yeah. Sneaky Steve-O, quarter of a second purple. That'd put him into a mid-129.
Excuse me while I grab the bucket.
Yeah. Both of these guys, though, putting on us just an absolute unbelievable race.
So that's lap 12 done and dusted. There we go. A 29.547. I'm going to throw up because that is stupidly fast pace. So these guys are going to be down to this is their second last lap. It's everything to play for at this stage. Full points available. Sneaky Steve-O currently has the fastest lap, so he will pick up the extra bonus point at this point. Oh, as he's had a bit of a mare going into the braking zone for turn 3. That's given Lenosis a little bit of breathing space. Oh, Steve-O's got the half-second penalty. Oh, that is massive.
Oh, we got one lap after this.
That is massive.
I think that could be all she wrote, though.
I'm not going to jinx it. I'm not going to say anything other than the fact that I reckon Lenosis is absolutely cheering right now, seeing that if he's even looking in his mirror, to be honest, he probably isn't.
Dadson's up back into 4th, and he's half a second off Ricky Bobby, and Stickers is hunting them down as well. I don't think he's going to have time to get there, but
that gap between Ricky Bobby and Dadson has remained pretty constant around that 6/10 for the last couple of laps, so he's doing a fantastic job.
Yeah, I wonder what happened to Artsy. He's dropped all the way back to 8.
Oh dear.
I reckon he's had some sort of issue, to be honest.
So that gap after the penalty, it's just under a second between Lenosis and Sneaky Steve-O. One could say that barring any mishaps from Lenosis, he may have this one. He's got one hand on it, I'll say that. I'm not going to jinx him because commentator's curse and he's my teammate, and I really don't need that in the post-race debrief because that'll make things in the APR garage very, very awkward. As the final lap has been called, the race timer has run out. Ricky Bobby sitting in P3 at the moment. I reckon he'll be pretty happy still getting on the podium for the second round in a row, but if he's not careful, Mr. Dadson might have something to say about that because he's still half a second behind, so it's not like Ricky Bobby can just afford to lift off and coast right now. There's still pressure there from the Dadson Racing team owner.
Lenosis is 2 corners away from taking what I would suspect would want to be one of his toughest races, even though it's a short race. Probably his toughest race this season, I would hazard a guess.
Into Red Bull Mobile. He's been under pressure for the better part of the last 20 minutes. He is probably going to be sweating like an absolute mofo, but he takes the win in very glorious fashion with Sneaky Steve-O, a very well-run P2, Ricky Bobby P3, Dadson P4, Crowd goes absolutely crazy for Stickers in P5. Big J P6, Boy Bagoom P7. Why are they giving me stupid camera views? I don't know. I can't see anything, but that is our race 2 run and done. So we will take a proper look over the race results, seeing as the finishing line camera wants to just point at the crowd as opposed to the track and the drivers, which is a little bit disappointing. But that is okay, because we have, with our race win, Mr. Lenosis from APR Motorsport on the top spot of the podium, very closely followed by Sneaky Stevo for Jamco Racing in the 458 Ferrari with the fastest lap of a 129.547. Now keep that in mind, because we've got Category 1A coming up in the very near future, and I do believe that we will see a 29 flat race lap. And joining them on the podium tonight is Ricky Bobby for APR Motorsport in third. Fourth position, in a bloody brilliant drive I must say, is Dadson for Dadson Motorsport in the Movember livery. P5 in a equally bloody brilliant drive I have to say is Stickers, the team owner for Lightning Motorsport in P5. P6 is his teammate Mr. Big J for Lightning Motorsport. P7 Boy Bagoom for Black Rose. P8 is Thunder Arty, and I will need to do a little bit of a post-race debrief with him, I think, to find out what happened there, because he was running really well up sort of toward the podium places and did just slip back a little bit towards the end there, so I am a little bit curious as to what was going on. P9 is Danico for Hooncorp in the little Peugeot. We've got Tinder Rags for Jamco in the 458 Ferrari in P10. Damo Reed for the Doghouse Peugeot in P11, and Hodes for the Corp Peugeot in P12. Rightio, we shall have a quick look to the YouTube chat and see what their thoughts are for the driver of the day. But first, Mr. Grovel, what are your thoughts?
Look, I don't think you can go past Sneaky Stevo. He came from last in the first race and he's made it all the way to second in the second race. And trumped my own horn. I did the same thing myself last week, I think. So after that first lap incident, I was pretty much last spot. So yeah, no, look, I think he was so quick and he moved his way up through the field in that first one, got him into fourth, and then he just couldn't take it from Lenosis. Lenosis, I think, seen him coming, like you said, and he put the foot down and he was like rapid, and them two guys put on a great show. But I gotta give a shout, I think, to Stickers. Last also in the second race, due to no fault of his own, I don't think. I think he got caught up in something and got all the way to the back of the field, and he's made his way up to fifth. So yeah, definitely Sneaky Stevo with a mention to Stickers, and probably also Dadson too, who was right there in the thick of the thing with those guys, and none of them were going slow. They were quick, so I think he's done well as well.
Well, the YouTube chat's got a pretty good variety. We've got one nomination for Stickers for Driver of the Day. We've got a Lenosis, a second one for Lenosis, a third one for Lenosis. Driver of the Day Dadson, Driver of the Day Sneaky Stevo, Driver of the Day Sneaky Stevo, another Driver of the Day Sneaky Stevo, Driver of the Day Sneaky Stevo. Look, I was kind of not looking forward to have to make the tiebreaker call between Lenosis and Sneaky Stevo, but I don't have to, so what I am going to do is I'm going to throw in my Driver of the Day nomination to Stickers. That was a bloody brilliant comeback drive in race 2, but unfortunately the numbers don't lie, so our Driver of the Day is of course Mr. Sneaky Stevo. A bit of a consolation prize, I would say, for, well, in quotation marks only, finishing P2, but a bloody brilliant drive in both races tonight, so definitely a worthy winner.
picks up points too for. Did he get fastest lap for both races? So
I believe he did get fastest lap in race 1 as well. So
yeah,
there's still a decent haul of points for him with the bonus points in race 1, with the fastest lap there too. So, and also his finishing points and fastest lap in race 2. So definitely not a haul of points to be sneezed at for the Jamco racing team this round.
no, especially considering he didn't get the quali and started last on the grid. So yeah, I think he'd be pretty damn happy with that, even if he couldn't quite get that first place.
100%. So might be definitely worthwhile keeping an eye on him next round just to see what he can pull out at Daytona, which I do feel will be a Ferrari-friendly track as well. Seems that Red Bull is quite the Ferrari-friendly track as well. So I don't think we actually no, we do have a couple of Ferraris coming up in our next race in the form of Kraken Esports. So keen to see what those guys can pull out tonight. Now we will just be jumping to a short intermission here to let us in the comms box have a bit of a toilet break. So I would highly recommend everyone watching at home, if you'd like to grab yourself a fresh drink, reload the snacks bowl, and possibly visit the toilet yourself, now is a great time to do it. I would just like to say a massive thank you to our race director, Mr. Grovel, for all of your efforts tonight. You've done a bloody brilliant job.
Thank you for having me once again. That's been my pleasure.
It's always a good time having you in the comms box.
Yeah.
Rightio, so I am quite desperate for a visit to the little men's room, so we shall be cutting to that intermission, and don't go too far. We will be back and ready to roll with qualifying for Category 1A. Don't go away.
Yeah, I just got to go do a little rain dance.
We shall see. We shall see.
Did I say that while it was still live? Shh.
Can you punch up a 5-minute warning for these guys? Big run over the points and just get straight in qualifying. Thanks, mate. Thank you again. And welcome back, everybody. Welcome back to Sector 1. We have finished our intermission and we are back, ready and primed to go for the massive event that is the Category 1A race. It is the best of the best we have here at Sector 1, and I'm sure you are all as keen as I am to see them go their absolute hardest here in Austria. Joining me now in the comms box is your race director for tonight's action in the form of Renegade. Mr. Renegade, how are we this evening?
Not too bad. How's yourself?
I am very excited, actually. That was an absolutely brilliant double header we just had there from the 2 sprint races of 1B. So I am primed and ready to go for Category 1A, because I am sure that we will see just as much, if not more, of the rapid kind of pace that we saw earlier. Now, I would just like to do a quick brush over of the individual points for these Category 1 guys, so we shall skip to that now. And we have currently leading the way for CP Motorsports is Mr. Geesh on 192 points. Now, he does have quite a healthy gap back to Mountain Goat from Rocky 05 Sim Racing in P2, to the tune of 37 points distance. So that'll be serving him well in a degree of confidence tonight. And then in third place, 5 points astray of Mountain Goat, is Mr. GTR from Blacklight Motorsports. And we've got Young Wakey from Kraken Esports in the Ferrari on 140. And Scooter 82 from Doghouse on 129. We've got Nif from CP on 107. And it gets very, very tight here in the mid-pack. We've got Foss from Brocky 05 on 105. We've got Tombo from Blacklight on 104. We've got Slappers from Dadson on 103. And a little bit of daylight back to Heafy on Thunder on 96. Closely followed by E-Bulk from Symmetry on 93. And even more closely followed by Dale Teeks from Kraken on 91. We've got the 2 zero-turn guys in the form of Captain Muffin on 61 points. And stepping in for Mr. Apex is the zero-turn team owner, Mr. Diswood, stepping back into the S1 Racing gantry. So it's good to have him back. He had a fairly strong showing at his first race back at the Nordschleife last week, or last round I should say, 2 weeks ago. And so keen to see what he can do here in the sprint format as opposed to the endurance format. So if everything is all good to go with you, Renegade, what do you say we kick off qualifying?
No worries, I'll let them Here we go. Now that pace sets these guys in 1B. I mean, I'm keen to see, we could possibly even be seeing 28 tonight, I reckon.
28s, that's a very bold call, and I'm slightly terrified to see it, but also excited because that's quick. That
I mean, what was the fastest lap before? 29.5?
Qualifying was a 29.1, and I think they were doing basically low 29s.
If they're doing low 29s, yeah, this is going to be scary. Here we go.
So brought to you by APR Automotive is qualifying for Cat 1A is a go. Now we've just got a couple of guys sorting themselves out on track at the moment, just waiting. There we go. We've got the timer finally sorting things out. So we've got first out on track is our current points leader, Mr. Geesh for CP Motorsports, followed by Heafy for Thunder Esports, who's okay. The timer is doing me dirty here. Heafy's actually first out on track, followed by Young Wacky for Kraken Esports in the bright green and red Santa Mobile, which I refuse to call it by anything else. Then we've got a very feisty pack here of Mountain Goat, Nif and Dale Teeks. They've got 2 Porsches and the Ferrari. which we did see in the earlier race, that the Ferrari is a very strong contender here at Red Bull Ring. And we've got Captain Muffin in the beautiful purple and yellow zero-turn Porsche, followed by the orange-wheeled wonder of Tombo in the blacklight TMR Systems McLaren. And we've got Foss in the BSR Porsche, Scooter McGavin in the Doghouse Peugeot, Slappers in the gorgeous gold and black Bacchus Brewery's Dadson Racing entry. Got GTR in a rather special looking blacklight livery, I must say. It's orange and white. I'm not sure if that is a game glitch or not. I have the feeling it is a game glitch for GTR, as his livery is not showing up correctly for us.
I'm looking at his car now, and his livery is definitely on the car.
That's alright. I reckon I will...
Oh, a bit of contact.
I will try exiting and going back in. That's alright, we'll fix that up later. And we've got Diswood, the team owner, for zero turn. We've got E-Bulk in the shiny Symmetry McLaren. And Geesh has been a bit naughty and picked himself up a half-second track limits penalty, so that's going to ride off this lap for him.
To come around the final turn to finish his first opening lap.
That's a young Wacky immediately goes to the top of the table with a 29.3. That has just been knocked off by Mountain Goat with a 29, and by his teammate Foss, I should say, with a 29.062. Beefy's picked up a half-second penalty, being a bit naughty, I would say, at turn 1. I'm suspecting Foss might have been flirting with the track limits there as well. He was, and picks up a half-second penalty for his trouble. So currently a BSR 1-2 on the front row of the grid. Young Wacky in third. Oh, it's only going to get faster from here, let me assure you. Scooter McGavin, currently P4. Brilliant showing from our friend across the ditch. Can be quite challenging hosting races here at Sector 1 because we do have people in all kinds of different time zones. We've got people from as far east as New Zealand and as far west as Perth, so you can only imagine the number of time zones that encompasses, not to mention you throw in daylight savings time and it can get all kinds of crazy. But we do the best we can to make it work, and I love it how we can have so many people from far and beyond racing together. Captain Muffin sitting in P5. How's he looking for this lap as he comes across the line? And he's a little bit down. Gets bumped down a spot by Niff. Scooter McGavin improves up to... did improve up to P3, but then got
GTR
bumped back down.
On top.
There we go, GTR.
29.035.
Making a statement right there. Geesh into P3. So he's got himself as a meat in that BSR sandwich for now. Diswood into P5, also making a statement. Tombo's unfortunately picked up a penalty there. Where's he sitting at the moment in qualifying? He's not... Oh, Muffin's got a penalty as well. Dale Teeps has got a penalty.
14th.
Alright, so Tombo's not having a great qualifying. Slapper's also with a penalty in P12.
And pulls the car up completely.
Yep. I think he's just backed out of it completely. Just wants to get out of everyone's way. Fair enough. E-Bulk as well, sitting P13, also has a penalty. So the track limits here at Red Bull Ring are definitely biting hard. Don't think E-Bulk wants to check up too much because he's got Geesh coming up very quickly behind him, although he is 1/10 down on his best, so... With E-Bulk serving that penalty, that might just give Geesh the... yep, lets him go sliding on by. as G ducks into the pits. Rightio. So this runs. This is an interesting choice with 8.5 minutes. Ducking into the pits. He's currently in third. So even getting a fresh set of boots, I don't think he's going to get around in time to do a hot lap. I think he might have miscalculated that one, but you know, given that he's currently leading the title and he's one of the fastest drivers in the Southern Hemisphere, yeah, you know what? I'm just going to leave his choices to him.
Yeah, let's not argue with the man.
Definitely. It's probably safe to say he knows what he's doing better than I do. And he does.
Better than a lot of people.
No, he does, because I was reading the timer wrong. That was not an 8, that was a 6. I need to get a set of glasses. Right. So, yours truly is an idiot, and Geesh is a genius. Let's just leave it at that, shall we?
Yeah, let's not argue.
Of course, most of the people watching...
We'll agree to disagree.
Well, most of the people watching are already aware that I'm a bit of an idiot. So, we'll leave it at that. So GDR's just backed off down the back straight here. I think he just wants a clear bit of track. He's currently on pole.
Some people would say being an idiot depends on whereabouts in the world you're currently standing.
Foss has improved his time. He's currently dropped a GDR's on a 28.9. Foss has dropped a 28.998, so he is a man on a mission right now.
I called it. I did say I wouldn't be surprised to see a 28 drop somewhere.
Got Geesh on his outlap. Coming through Rint and Red Bull Mobile, using all of the track on the exit. But that gets him a absolutely brilliant run onto the main straight. Toys with the track limits at turn 1, but I think he might be a little bit safe there. Usually by the time they go past the AlphaTauri sign, you know whether they've got a penalty or not. Goes past the tomatoes. He's 700ths down on his best time, so Geesh is just struggling a little bit here by the looks of it, here at the Red Bull Ring. So speaking of struggling, Mountain Goat P4, half-second penalty, currently carrying, so that's going to absolutely cook his next lap. So I think P4 is probably as high up the order as he's going to finish. Young Wakey's currently P5, coming through the Red Bull Mobile final corner. He will get one more crack at a hot lap as he crosses the line 1.3 seconds down on his best, so fair to say things didn't go well that lap.
They all will get a final crack at it by the looks of it.
Diswood currently P6. How's he looking through the first sector split? No, he's 2/10ths down on his best. And Foss has just knocked GDR off the top of the table. Foss has dropped a 28.891. I was just watching GDR coming through turn 3 then when I noticed the slight change in the order. So just keep an eye on GDR at the moment as Dale Teagues has parked it up on turn 5, staying well out of the way. He's got a penalty and
on his final lap.
He's out of the running at the moment.
Up by half a tenth. He's personal.
GDR is a little bit slidey, but he's down on his best time by 700ths. So unless he pulls out a mega final sector here, I think Foss might have just pipped him to the post for pole position. GDR comes through the final corner. Can he get it done? I think Foss has managed to hold on here. He has. So all eyes on Geesh at the moment.
On a personal best, up by almost a tenth.
Comes through out of Worth on the run into Rint. Last 2 corners, everything to play for here. He did pit in for a fresh set of boots, so he's got all the rubber in the world. Lots of sliding, lots of squirming. There is track limits there somewhere, I would imagine.
And he
found them. Unfortunately, P3 is as good as he is going to finish. But still, third, certainly nothing to complain about. I wouldn't be. So we'll have a quick going over of our qualifying results here for Category 1A, brought to you by APR Automotive. And of course, Adelaide Ceramic Coatings. So, on pole position for BSR is Mr. Foss with a 128.891, which is bloody rapid. Not that far behind, of course, is Mr. GTR for Blacklight with a 128.919. So, 200s, give or take, behind. P3 for CP Motorsports is Jeesh. Then joining him on the second row of the grid is Mountain Goat, currently sitting behind him in the championship standings as well. So on the third row of the grid is Young Wakey for Kraken Esports in the Ferrari 458, joined by the zero-turn Porsche of Mr. Diswood. The fourth row of the grid, we've got Scooter 82 in the Doghouse Peugeot, joined by Nif in the CP Porsche. And we've got the fifth row of the grid in the other zero-turn Porsche, piloted by Captain Muffin, joined by Slapper's mate in the Datsun Peugeot. Sixth row of the grid, we've got Dale Teeks for Kraken Esports with Tombo from Blacklight. And then in the McLaren rear of the grid, we've got Heathy from Thunder Motorsports with the Bulk from Symmetry Motorsports. Now I'm just going to do a quick jump out and back into the lobby to see if we can get the livery glitch to fix itself, because that would make things much more visually appealing for everybody concerned, and would probably make the Blacklight team owner much happier, considering he spent all the time making the livery, so I'm sure he would prefer it to actually be seen. I know I would, because that generic orange livery on the McLaren is quite boring, to say the least. Oh, I wouldn't say disturbing, I'm just reckon it's a bit boring.
Disturbingly boring.
Right, so I am back in. So, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you enjoyed that qualifying. I wonder if it went how you imagined it would, or whether there was definitely a curveball being thrown out. There is certainly a lot of support in the chat at the moment for Foss, and rightly so, because that was a very well-deserved pole position. So, ladies and gentlemen in the chat, throw in your podium predictions for me. And what do you say, Mr. Renegade? We kick off race 1 and see if Foss can convert this pole position into a race win.
Let's get these boys going. Alright, good luck everyone.
I am keen. Alright, so we're seeing a 128.9 quali lap. What do you reckon we see quite a few 29 flat race laps? What do you reckon the odds are?
Very high.
I tend to agree. With that. Alright, so we've got drivers on the grid. I'm going to switch the camera back to Mr. Jeesh in third place, so that will hopefully give us a fairly decent view of what goes on through turn 1. Right. And the lights go green, and we are underway here for race 1 at Red Bull Ring, brought to you by APR Automotive. Very single file, very well behaved going into turn 1. There appears to be a little bit of squirming and twisting, but so far everybody facing in the right direction. We love to see it. Now it does appear that the livery for GDR is back on the car, so that is great to see. That was a massive send up the inside there from Diswood at turn 3. I wonder if there might be some steward's involvement, or whether that was a braking marker missed. I'm not quite sure. He's holding a defensive line here into
Glosgold over Scooter McGavin. P7 manages to get away with it. So far everyone's running in the same order that they started in. It's getting a little bit feisty further back. Got Captain Muffin holding station over Slapper's mate Dale Teagues, who's got Niff, just sends it down the inside into Rhine, or Rint, however you want to pronounce it. And coming out of the Red Bull Mobile curve onto the front straight. Oh, that's all kind of... Diswood's getting all kinds of tank slapper, and he's been slapped with a half-second penalty. I would imagine that is for some track limits, which he definitely exceeded there at turn 1. Is that going to become 1 second? Yes, it does. Rightio, so that's a big slap there for the zero-turn team owner. Usually it's his team driver, Captain Muffin, aka Captain Penalties, getting the track limits, but...
That could possibly drop him way down in the likes of Dale Teagues and Tombo.
That is definitely going to put him... That is definitely going to put him out of the top 8. So far, Foss is holding station over GDR to the tune of 4 tenths. It's chopping and changing.
See how far it drops him.
It's chopping and changing a bit between the two of them. GDR's also holding station over Geesh. It's like everyone's just biding their time, being patient right now. Goaty and P4.
Feeling each other out. Here we go, as Diswood serves his penalty.
That does drop him back to P9.
Behind his teammate.
And he's now the...
right on his tailpipes.
He is now the rear gunner for his teammate. And that is a very feisty looking Slappers and Dale Teagues right behind him. But that has allowed Captain Muffin to just break away a little bit. Because he, I would imagine he wants to get onto the back of Niff. It's a very Porsche heavy field, this one. Let's see, we've got Foss in a Porsche, we've got Geesh, Mountain Goat, and there's Niff, Muffin, Diswood.
Field almost.
That's 6. So 6 out of the 14 are Porsches. I'm not implying anything, I'm just making an observation, just to clarify.
A little bit of argy-bargy going on just back there.
Back where exactly?
Between Tombo and Dale Teagues.
Ah, rightio. Getting a bit feisty in the backpack.
Nothing major, just finding track space, I suppose.
Tombo has made his way up. Oh no, he's back to... Oh, he's up to P11. So Foss still holding out onto the race lead. Not by much though, it's only 2 tenths. He is having to go defensive down that front straight. GDR is all over the back of him. Does a Craig Lowndes, shows the nose. Ducks up the inside. GDR actually gets a really good drive despite the narrower line into turn 3.
Noticed that, yeah.
Just wondering, are any of these guys running traction control out of curiosity?
Not a single one of them.
Right. My kind of lads. My kind of lads. I'm sure traction control is faster. I'm sure it is. I don't care. I'm not using it unless it's pouring with rain. I will die on that hill. I might be slow, but I will die on that hill.
I'm with you on that one.
GDR has just dropped back a little bit. He might have to start going defensive here on Geesh because he's closed up to within less than 4 tenths. And, oh, GDR, mate, you're flirting with track limits there. That's not a date you want.
Playing with fire.
I think he's gotten away with it there, so he's very lucky.
Yeah, I'm not seeing any penalties.
They also run on the absolute limit on the entry to turn 1. They push it out as far to the left as they can in the braking
She's
zone.
right on the back of... Oh!
Bit of
Side by
touching
side going.
as GDR comes back onto the line. Oh, is it? There's not a lot of room there, but they've managed to make it work.
As long as you keep 2 tyres on one side of that
And I don't think GDR and Geesh want to get too cute here because young Godey's right there or thereabouts as he sends it up the inside into Schlossgold, makes it work, gets it up into P3. Now he says, "Move over. I want to crack at GDR." Geesh is like, "Nah, I'm going to hang it around the outside of Worth." Oh,
Geesh goes a bit wide.
Yep, that's the danger of.
Compromised him.
That's the danger of hanging it around the outside of a wide sweeping corner. You can run out of track.
And losing 2 spots in the matter of 3 or 4 turns.
Oh, no, he's gone past young Wacky around the outside of Rin. That is brave.
How he managed that.
Lick the stamp, send it, hope. He's done well, he's made it work. Can't deny that. But that lap hasn't gone well for Geesh. That's dropped him back down to P4, and he's about a second off the back of young Godey.
This was copped another half-second penalty.
But having said that, we're only 8 minutes in, still got 12 minutes of racing to go. Still got 12 minutes of racing to go. So he's got plenty of time to make his way back. And hang on, Godey's had a mistake. He's dropped down to P4. Geesh has made his way back up to P3. Just as we were saying he's got plenty of time, he's done it in the next corner. So Godey dropped the ball a little bit there and has handed that spot back. And he's now come under fire from a young Wakey as well in P5.
Not going well for Diswood at the moment.
He's heading backwards down the track, I would say. Or
He
backwards
will
down
be
the order.
once he serves this penalty.
Oh, 1 second. That is definitely a big slap in the face, pun intended, because right behind him is Slapper's mate. So that might even leave him vulnerable to Tombo as well. Oh, he manages to hang on to P10, keeps inside the top 10. Check back in up the front though. Geesh has got his way past GDR while we were watching that. And GDR is going defensive now down the main straight over young Goatee. So things are doing swings and roundabouts for Geesh, GDR and Goatee. Meanwhile, Foss out the front is just putting his head down getting the job done, and currently has a 3-second lead over the rest of them. So he will be absolutely loving this. He's got his teeth between, he's got the bit between the teeth and is just buggering off into the distance. Although having said that, Geesh is on the fastest lap at the moment with a 1:29.4 race lap, just quietly. Now bear in mind the fastest lap for the category 1B guys was a 29.1. Geesh has done a 29.4 race lap with half a tank of fuel extra. So just some perspective there for you all.
With all that arguing over second spot going in the background, that's just allowing Foss to just extend that lead even further.
100%. GDR's looking to try and consolidate third at the moment here, and they're all flirting with those track limits at Red Bull Mobile. The final corner. It looks like they all get away with it though.
Foss sets a new fastest lap with a 29.402.
Now that's just getting disgusting. So GDR's having to go defensive here again. Cornered in that little bend that they like to call turn 2. I refuse to acknowledge it, but GDR very defensive there at turn 3. Goaty with the under an O. Oh, GDR's gone around! Oh my god, that is massive! That is huge! Let's see if we can catch that on our
I missed that myself.
LJ Media replay and see if we can just see what went wrong there. Oh, there might have been some BSR assistance there. I'm not sure if he was already sideways or not. That was, that's definitely one we are going to leave for the stewards. We're not touching that. That has done terrible things. It's dropped him down to P10, just in front of his teammate, P11.
He will be dirty.
I reckon there's probably going to be a team owner in the YouTube chat in about 10 seconds who's not going to be particularly happy either. And rightly so. It's never nice to see one of your drivers drop down quite a lot of spots, whether it be from a racing incident or otherwise. It's just not pleasant to see. As
cuss words coming from under that helmet too.
As Geesh has just dropped another fastest lap of a 29.349. That gap between him and Foss has come down to 2.8 seconds. So he's slowly making inroads. But I do say slowly because Foss dropped a 29.5. So Geesh has only managed to take 2/10 out of him in that last lap. Which, if that stays the same, I reckon Foss will be the same, but safe until the end of the race, sorry. But someone who won't be safe until the end of the race is Mountain Goat, who's currently got a very fiery looking Niff and Scooter in hot pursuit. As he's gone off the track at Worth and he's in the sand trap, he's in the gravel. He's gone.
Mountain Goat.
Goaty has gone. The BSR Porsche of Goaty has suffered a catastrophic failure and has completely ended his race here in race 1. He's hoping that they can get that back to the pits, and hopefully the BSR team has the budget for a spare car that young Goaty can jump into for race 2. But if that is the case, he will be starting from the back of the grid, unfortunately, for race 2. Which is a huge shame considering he was running in 4th position at the time.
And that will severely affect his championship points too.
Definitely, that's going to make a... well, it's not...
0 for race 1.
It's not going to be a huge dint, but it's definitely going to be a noticeable amount, because that would be 7 points down, I think. But either way, math on stream is not the strong suit, so I'm going to stay away from that. So Niff has got a little bit of breathing room between himself and Scooter, who's currently in P5, who's got a very racy looking Captain Muffin in hot pursuit. It's less than a second in it, so Muffin definitely has a slipstream. We're on lap 10 of a theoretical 14-lap race. So 4 laps to go for Scooter to make something happen. Or sorry, Muffin to make something happen. GDR's managed to claw his way back to P8 from 10 after his unfortunate earlier incident. Currently in the slipstream of Slappers, who has just picked up a half-second penalty from turn 1, I would imagine, so that's going to make GDR's job that little bit easier. The Slappers will be serving that penalty this lap if GDR doesn't manage to get past him. Checking back up the front, Jisha's got a half-second penalty. So that gap between him and Foss had come down to 2.3 seconds, but that is going to extend back out toward the 3-second mark, courtesy of this penalty, which he will be serving in 2 corners' time. So I think that
I just had a phone call.
that might be best if Jish, I don't know, maybe metaphorically just puts the Q in the rack, consolidates P2 for this race, takes the points, and knows that he will be starting from the front row of the grid for the next race. Although, having said that, that gap to Foss is still at about 2 seconds. So, I don't think that penalty really made much of a difference to the gap between Foss and Jish. So, okay, I retract my statement about putting the Q in the rack. Forget I said anything. Keep driving hard. Go for it, mate. Again, I'm just a commentator. What do I know? But speaking of penalties, young Wakey, P3's picked up a half-second as well.
Should keep third and over a 2.5 second gap.
Definitely, you would hope so. Captain Muffin is still there or thereabouts on scooters. Although that gap between Scooter and Niff has come down, that was over 2.5 seconds a lap or so ago. It's now down to 1.3. So I think if Scooter and Muffin don't go fighting each other, they might be able to make some inroads on Niff and possibly pick up an extra position. Just over 2 minutes to go, so coming up on the end of lap 12, they will get 14 laps. Bit of support in the chat for both Slappers and Scooter. But Foss is still leading the way. That gap, it has come down to 1.9, but I think Foss might just have what it takes to hang on to it for this race. As Jish is still setting purple laps and purple sectors. 29.3 race lap, just quietly, if you don't mind. Young Wakey's had a very solid drive this race. He's just quietly gone about his business. He's sitting in P3.
VTR and Slappers side by side. Takes the position.
A beautiful move down the inside of Sloshgold. The Slappers wants a back.
Giving up that easy.
Boy, he shows the nose and has a look at Ralch. I can't pronounce it. But concedes the spot. Decides to just sit back for now. GDR back into 7th. Tombo P9 at the moment, got both the Blacklight drivers in the top 10. Dale Teagues wants to change that though. He wants to put both the Kraken drivers in the top 10. Sorry, he is in the top 10. Don't mind me, he's currently in 10th. He wants to improve that by 1. There is, however, a zero-turn team owner right behind him who would like to put the other zero-turn car into the top 10. That's what I was trying to say. Wow, but that Kraken Ferrari's all sorts of squirmy coming out of turn 1. Oh, final lap has been announced. This is going to be it, ladies and gentlemen, so it's everything to play for on this lap. They fan out into turn 3. Dale Teagues down the inside. Diswood around the outside at turn 3. That's ambitious. Dale Teagues gets a brilliant drive out of turn 3. Puts himself up into P9. Gets past Tombo. Diswood weaving all over the place behind Tombo.
New fastest lap.
Can't get it made in.
138.
Can't get it made into Sloshgold. Woody's going to have to hold that position, hold station, I think. as Foss is coming through the final 2 turns now. He's done everything he has to make it happen and take the race win. He's 1.5 seconds up on Geesh. Comes around onto the main straight and takes the race win for race 1. Geesh P2, Young Wacky P3, Niff with a well-deserved P4, Scooter McGavin P5, Captain Muffin P6, GDR on the comeback in P7, Slappers P8, Dale Teagues P9, Tombo P10, Diswood P11, Heathy P12. Little bit of a gap back to E-Bulk in 13th, who decides to do his impersonation of a lawnmower and go across the grass, across the line. And with the unfortunate letting go of the BSR car of Mountain Goat earlier in the race, that is all of our drivers across the line. So we shall have a quick recap of our race 1 results, and then we'll have a little bit of a chat while we manually set the grid for race 2, which I imagine is going to be an absolute cracker. Race results thanks to Adelaide Ceramic Coatings. With the race win in race 1 is Foss for BSR. In P2 is Geesh for CP with the fastest lap of a 129.138, which is bloody ridiculous. It's faster than the Category 1B qualifying time. Mental. Just mental. Then we've got Young Wakey for Kraken Esports in P3. We've got Niff for CP Motorsports P4. Scooter 82 for Doghouse in P5. Captain Muffin for Zero Turn in P6. GDR for Blacklight P7. Slapper's Mate for Dadson in P8. We've got Dale Teagues for Kraken Esports in P9. Tombo for Blacklight P10. P11 is Diswood for Zero Turn, P12 Heathy for Thunder Motorsports, P13 E-Bulk for Symmetry Motorsports, and unfortunately the DNF for Mountain Goat for BSR. But he has managed to jump into the spare car by the looks of things, so we will see him back on track for race 2. Unfortunately, he will need to be starting from the back of the grid due to the DNF. So while unfortunate, we have seen a brilliant through the field from the back of the grid comeback drive tonight earlier with the form of Sneaky Stevo. So it is possible. I would imagine in Category 1A it's probably a little bit more difficult than it would usually be in some of the other racing categories, but
yeah, I can attest to that.
Still not impossible, so we should definitely wish young Goatee the best of luck with that, and hopefully the spare car does not suffer the same mechanical and or electrical gremlins that he suffered in race 1, which is very unfortunate. Now I'm being told in the chat that I am incorrect about something. I'm curious as to what I'm incorrect about, because I tend to be.
Never mind. He's got the NVM letters on his next message.
Yeah, I still want to know. I still want to know what I was supposedly incorrect about. So come on, Lenosis, tell me. Out with it. What was I wrong about? What were you wrong about me being wrong about? There we go. Wrap your brains around that one, ladies and gentlemen.
No, just no.
No. We need you focusing on getting this grid set. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, what did you think of that first race? Was it good? Was it bad? Come on, give us your thoughts. A bit quiet here in the chat. Keep me company here. Lenosis thought the pole time was faster than it was. He's obviously gone back and checked and realised, oh wait, Carbon Boy's not wrong for once. Like, once. Probably the first time on record where I've actually been right about something, so I will take that. And we will lock that down in the history vault, because that's probably going to be the only time I am ever right about something on stream. So I'm going to hold on to that one dearly. Speaking of holding on to things dearly, how are we tracking for the grid setup for race 2?
The settings flicked over, but for some reason people are still initializing.
Right. Always interesting.
Who's still trying to come in? It's weird.
Gotta love it when GT7 does GT7 things.
Yeah, I'm hearing you.
Alright, we've got everybody ticked in, so we should be good to go now. So we'll let you finish setting that. Let you finish setting that grid up. And while we are there, let's have another quick look at those team points. Well, not the team points, the driver standings. I'm going to let you guys at home do your own math on this one, because that's going to give Boss 10 points. So he's going to go from 105, he's going to go to 115. Now, Mountain Goat is not going to get any points, so that is not going to affect him. So, yeah, you know what? This is why we don't do math on stream, because I get to about the third driver and I can't keep track of it anymore. So, you guys want to take a screenshot and then do your own math? By all means, do that. I'm going to leave you with it. Fairly surprise-filled race 1 there, with obviously with a DNF, bit of an incident there with GTR. Now, as we have seen in the past, an angry GTR is or a grumpy GTR is a very fast GTR. So while he may be starting from P7, I think, from memory, I won't imagine that he's going to be contained there for very long. I would actually imagine that, I'm going to put my prediction in right now, that probably sometime around lap 2 we will see him in the P4 position. So there we go, there's my prediction. GTR up to P4 by the end of lap 2. Hopefully that's another time where my prediction is actually correct on stream. How are we tracking, Renegade?
Almost done. 3 more drivers to set.
Lovely. Just gotta get those guys into their correct positions on the grid. It's always a bit of a challenge trying to wrangle these Category 1 guys. They're fast, but they're feisty, and they don't like being told what to do. So you kind of gotta push them around a little bit. Rightio. So without further ado, let's punch that button and get race 2 underway. Now the weather does look to have come in a little bit. It's a little bit cloudy and hazy here in Austria. So is that an omen for some potential moisture later on? We shall see.
Well, if it's anything like the Category 2A last week, I'm expecting a chaotic finish.
I'm hoping for the good kind of chaos. So we have everybody out on track, with Foss leading the way over Geesh, then Wakey and Niff on the second row. Kind of get the feeling turn 1 is going to be all single file, but we never know. And as the lights go green, the hammer gets dropped, the clutch gets lifted, and the foot gets mashed. Everyone is fairly sedate because of our rolling start. The spacings on the car does reduce the amount of chaos into turn 1, which is always good.
Oh, a little bit slidey, one of the Porsches in the background.
There's a lot of squirming going on as everyone's trying to get maximum power down on some slightly cold tyres.
This is what I think.
Young Wakey makes up a mammoth amount of space on Geesh into the braking zone into turn 3.
Cody already up around Evolk.
Geesh is forced to go defensive. Geesh is forced to go defensive into Schlossgold. Young Wakey's definitely looking feisty here. Got Niff behind him. It just looks like he's sitting back biding his time. I mean, he is a teammate to Geesh, who Young Wakey's trying to overtake right now, so Geesh has got that in his back pocket. He's got a rear gunner to keep the guy trying to attack him occupied. These top 4 have skipped out to a little bit of a gap over Scooter in P5. So Scooter still holding station over Captain Muffin, who has got a massive train behind him. Maybe my prediction in regards to GDR wasn't accurate. He's still in P7, trapped behind Captain Muffin. I'm sure he's making that Porsche as difficult as possible to pass here at Red Bull Ring. Goes massively defensive down the second straight with a slight curve, so it's not really straight. But anyway, GDR down the inside, if you don't mind, into turn 3. Slams the door, and we have lost Scooter McGavin. The doghouse Peugeot has let go. That car is gone. Bugger. And Captain Muffin goes around the outside of GDR at Schlossgold. That was a very ambitious move. I have no idea.
This one's wide.
I have no idea where that came from. That was huge from Muffin. Can't make it work. And that does leave him open to Dale Teeks right now.
Cody on lap 2 is now up to position 9 from last on the grid.
And Diswood, like you mentioned, going wide has dropped him well down the order. He's back to P12 by the look of it. So that was a big tank slapper moment for the zero-turn team owner. Not gone well at all for him. But checking back up the front, Young Wacky's managed to get past Geesh. That is huge. That is a massive move. That has big implications for the championships in terms of points. It's still early on in the race, so obviously we can't read too much into that right now.
Niff with the current fastest lap of a 30.1.
Good evening, Mr. Pennywise in the YouTube chat. Thanks for joining us. I think you've joined us at a great time. You're in for some absolutely cracking racing if what we're seeing on stream right now is anything to go by. As we've got Young Wakey right underneath the rear wing of Foss. He definitely wants to get on by. He's not content to sit behind. Comes through Worth.
Cody now up to 8th. He's on a mission.
Goaty Watch currently P8. As Foss, his teammate, is going defensive into Rind. Young Wacky with, oh, this could be a penalty here for Foss. He's gone very wide. He's sliding all over the place. He gets that half-second penalty. That has gone not well at all for the BSR driver, who's just picked up the fastest lap, but because of the penalty, the game says access denied. So that's going to prove pretty damaging for Foss. That half-second penalty will drop him behind both Young Wacky and Geesh. May even drop him into the clutches of Niff, who's currently sitting in P4. And mind you, Foss is still dropping purple laps. It's not like he's driving slow. But that penalty is definitely going to hurt, and is going to put him right back in between the two CP drivers.
Possibly, yeah.
Which is, there will be lots of cursing right now. Things not going well in the BSR garage. They've had car destroyed tonight, race 1, and now penalties are rearing their ugly head. Meanwhile, there'll be a certain Kraken team owner who will be absolutely screaming and cheering right now. Just be careful, Mr. Bumcrack, don't spill your Bundy. Wouldn't want to waste a perfectly good run. As Foss serves that penalty, but manages to hold on to P2. He's done a bloody great job there.
According to the chat from the stranger, Scooter's PS5 just bricked itself and shut down.
Oh, terminal. Absolute terminal ECU failure for the Doghouse Motorsports car. Very sad to see. Foss has done it again. He's picked up a half-second penalty at turn 1 again. He's not learned. He got very lucky on the previous lap to be able to hang on to P2 after serving a half-second penalty. I don't think that's going to be the case this time around. He's definitely going to drop behind G with another half-second penalty.
And Wakey now with the fastest lap of a 29.697.
Wakey turning on the afterburners here. He's probably looked in the mirrors, seen that penalty and thought, right, I need to turn it on and get the heck out of Dodge, because Geesh will definitely be on the hunt and wanting to track him down. 7 minutes in, got 13 minutes left. Still plenty of time for Geesh to make inroads. So Foss has to back off to serve that penalty. Where does that put him? He holds on to P3 in between the two CP drivers. So he's managed to minimise the damage as much as possible, but jeez, when
still within slipstream range.
You just gotta stop getting penalties. I know it's easier said than done when these guys are running right on the ragged edge in regards to track limits. But as you can see, you might lose a tenth by not pushing the track limits, but you can lose 3/4 of a second if you push it just that little bit too far. So it's that risk versus reward game as he does go purple through that first sector. So checking back in, GDR up to P5. So he's having a fairly solid comeback drive. He's back within slipstream range of NIF in P4, so probably safe to say in another lap or two he's going to be right up there banging doors with NIF. Captain Muffin's a couple of seconds further adrift. He's got Mountain Goat within a second. So Goaty's up to P7.
And has copped a half-second penalty by the looks of it.
That's gonna make his comeback drive a little bit harder.
He does have 1.4 over Dale. He won't lose a spot, but it'll bring Dale back within slipstream range, I reckon, going up this main straight.
And Dale Teagues could probably use that extra help right now because he's got his hands full with the slapper's mate Diswood right underneath his rear wing. It looks like Diswood's
get away with it.
Diswood's playing the old mind games here with Slapper, just showing the nose into turn 1, trying to force the error. Nothing doing at the moment. What about coming into turn 3? Does he decide to show the nose up into the braking zone? No, Slappers absolutely sends it from the moon on Dale Teagues and makes it stick. Absolutely sensational move. Then has to go defensive. Oh no, Dale Teagues has picked up a half-second penalty there at turn 3. He's run wide on the track limits. Just holding off Diswood into Schlossgold, sorry. So I don't think he'll be serving that half-second penalty this lap, but he will definitely have to next lap, and that is going to put no, he will serve it this lap. So that's going to drop Dale Teagues behind Diswood and right into the clutches of Tombo. who's in there in P11 at the moment. Now, we can't take our eyes off the front for too long. The young Wakey has gotten out to about a second over Jish, so young Wacky has absolutely turned on the afterburners. He's still got the fastest lap with a 1:29.5. And not that far behind is Jish with a 1:29.623 on the last lap. That's his personal best, but still a 10th down on what young Wacky's doing. So young Wacky knows he's got to put the head down, light the afterburners, and just get the heck out of Dodge, because he's got a very rapid Jish and Foss behind him, who will not hesitate to take that race winning position if they get even half an opportunity.
Just flicking back to Goody just then. Going through the first time split, just under a 10th purple.
Nice, showing some very rapid pace there in the backup car. GDR in 4th at the moment. He's got his way past Niff. He's heading very rapidly back towards the podium. He's only 1.3 seconds off the back of Foss right now.
Oh, what's going on?
So considering he started in 7th, he's up to 4th, and he's only 2.7 seconds behind the race leader and young Wacky. GDR is, well, a man on a mission, and it's pretty obvious what that mission is.
I think we might bit of action between Muffin and Goody into the final turn. On lap, at the end of lap 8.
GDR is purple into that first sector split. Gets a great exit out of turn 3. Niff is right there with him.
So Muffin won't be happy with the move.
Jish is right on the back of young Wacky now, 3/10 in it. This is where young Wacky is really going to have to start playing defensive as well as trying to drive as fast as humanly possible.
And we have a new fastest lap. Distinct Jish, 1:29.4.
He is now 2.5 tenths purple through that Worth Curve sector split. He is deep in the slipstream of young Wacky. I don't think he'll be looking through a move through the last 2 corners.
Muffin's picked him up a half-second penalty.
Jish might be looking for gets a brilliant drive out of that final corner, but as does young Wacky. As Jish resets the fastest lap to a 1:29.294.
Ouch.
Neither young Wacky or Jish are leaving anything on the table right now. Both are going absolutely hell for leather. And they have dropped off Foss to the tune of 1.5 seconds. GDR has managed to close that gap to Foss down to 1.3 seconds. But he's coming under fire from Niff out of turn 3. Struggled a little bit on the exit. He's forced to go defensive. Is Niff going to go around the outside of Schlossgold? Tries for the undercut. GDR parks it on the apex, says nothing doing, mate, not happening.
Find another way.
A little bit of battling right there has given a couple of tenths back to Foss. Checking back in with Jish and Wacky, still running line astern, 3/10 in it. The problem with having several cracking battles on track, you dare not take your eyes off one for too long because you'll miss the action.
Oh, 100%. Gap is closing to Wacky too now, just under 1/4 of a second.
Oh, both cars very, very squirmy out of turn 1 there. Both drivers trying to get the maximum amount of traction. Young Wakey defensive.
Possibly, yeah.
Geesh to the inside, under brakes. Sends it.
Will he hold it? Will he hold it?
Can he get the under? Can Wacky get the under over on the exit? No. Geesh gets absolutely stunning drive out of turn 3.
He was purple going into turn 3.
He's pulled the trigger. He's made the move. Made it stick. Now he's the one who has to go defensive. So I don't think young Wakey's going to take that lying down. He's shown he's got the pace. And another move with the CP car is Nif did manage to make his way past GTR back then, I did notice. But I think GTR might have under-overed him at Schlossgold and gotten his way back to P4. But either way, the fighting between those two has extended the gap between themselves and Foss to 2.5 seconds. So it's not doing them any favours.
Both cars in the top 5.
So I think Geesh has decided it's time to drop the hammer. As his last 4 laps have been a 29.4, 29.2, 29.4, 29.4.
That's consistent.
Where young Wakey's done a 29.6, 29.5, 29.6 and then a 30.3. Little bit off the pace there on that last lap.
And mind you, the last 3 laps that Geesh has done are all within 0.031 of a second.
Oh, here we go. Things are getting a little bit worse for the BSR camp. Foss has picked up another half a second penalty. So while he's not in danger of losing his 3rd position, because he does have 2.7 seconds back to GDR, that could put him in range. GDR is 1.3 seconds up on Nif at the moment, so he's managed to extend that gap out a little bit, give himself a bit of breathing space. Something has gone wrong with Muffin further down the field, because Diswood is in P7 with a half-second penalty, so that's not going to stay that way for long. He's going to serve that and drop behind Dale Teeks and his teammate in the form of Captain Muffin. So Diswood back down to P9. Behind Muffin in 8th, Dale Teeks in 7th. Not gone well. So we're on lap 13, the penultimate lap. And Geesh has lit the afterburners, tapped on the rockets and said, "See you later, I'm out of here." And he now has a near on a second gap over young Wakey. He's decided it's time to bugger off and call it done. And Foss has picked up another half a second penalty. Oh my goodness. I think the captain penalty mantle is going to have to be passed from Muffin over to Foss, I think.
Although he does have a 2.3 second gap over GTR.
In his favour, yes, he does have that safety buffer, but that's 2 or 2.5 seconds worth of penalties in this race for Foss. So it's a case of what could have been if it wasn't for those, but still 3rd place in the race. That's definitely a very healthy finishing position. GDR is not out of the woods yet. Nif has managed to get that gap back down to 4/10, so if he's not careful, he could find himself under fire here from Nif on the final lap. As Godey crosses the line, he'll be on to lap 14 as well in P6. Muffin P7, Diswood P8. He'll be happy he's gotten in front of Tombo. Eefy's got himself up into the top 10. He's got past Dale Teeks.
And all drivers are on the 14th lap.
It's been a very quiet race from Heafy tonight. I don't think I've called his name aside from qualifying. So he's managed to get himself into the top 10. Very solid performance.
unfortunately for Ebok, he has a 1.5
5-second penalty,
for his
yeah, and right down the back of the grid, so not his night by the looks of things.
No.
But as they come through into the Werther curve, got Geesh out in front, less than a second in it, but fairly safe to say that he's done everything he needs to secure this race win. He's 2 corners from victory here at the Red Bull Ring in Austria in, well, absolutely brilliant drive, I must say. Didn't get it on pole, didn't start at the front, still manages to get the win in beautiful fashion. Young Wakey P3, false into the wall for P3. GDR picks up P4, Niff in P5. Mountain Goat with the comeback drive from last to P6. Captain Muffin P7. Diswood P8. Tombo P9. Heathy P10. Slappers P11. Dale Teeks P12. And E-Bulk coming onto the main straight now to round out our field. Unfortunately, the Doghouse Peugeot of Scooter having a absolutely terminal ECU failure and unfortunately being a DNF. So very sad news for the Doghouse driver tonight. But hopefully they can get that issue resolved and come back next round and absolutely blitz everybody. Now we just have a quick recap of the race results. If I can find the correct screen, which would be fantastic. There we go. Rightio, thanks to Adelaide Ceramic Coatings on with the race win with fastest lap of a 129.294 is Geesh from CP Motorsports. On the second step of the podium is Young Wacky from Kraken Motorsports in the Ferrari 458. And we've got Foss from BSR in the Porsche in third. We've got GTR in the Blacklight McLaren in fourth. Niff with the CP Porsche in fifth. Young Goatee with the BSR Porsche in sixth. Captain Muffin in the Zero Turn Porsche in 7th, just beating his team owner Diswood in P8. Then we've got Tombo in the Blacklight McLaren with the beautiful orange wheels in P9. We've got Heafy from Thunder Motorsports in P10, Slappers in the Dadson Peugeot P11, Dale Teeks in the Kraken Ferrari in P12, finishing up with a 1 second penalty, so that may have just bumped him slightly down one spot. E-Bulk in the Symmetry Motorsports McLaren in P13, and unfortunately Scooter in the DNF. Rightio, so ladies and gentlemen, the YouTube chat, throw in your Driver of the Day nominations. Mr. Renegade, what are your thoughts?
Oh, I mean, as you said, John, as well, I mean, it was a pretty quiet race, but I mean, I have to give mine to Goaty. Terminal failure in race 1, starting from the back of the grid in race 2, to come back and finish in 6th. So, for me, I'd have to say Goaty. I mean, an honourable mention to Geesh as well. Like, race was perfect, but yeah, no, my drive of the day, I think I have to give it to Goaty for that comeback drive.
That's a fairly worthwhile nomination. Just checking in with the chat, we've got Driver of the Day for Niff, a Driver of the Day for Geesh, with Young Wacky a close second. I don't normally give it to a race winner, but I'm inclined to give my nomination towards Geesh for tonight's effort. Fairly solid result qualifying, good result race 1, and an even better result race 2 with the bonus points of the fastest lap. So I think that definitely worthwhile of a nomination. And that will have, well, that will definitely help extend his championship points lead going into the next round, which has been voted on. We did have a round this season open up to a driver vote and a fan vote in our Sector 1 community. with our invitational drivers, and it was a fairly close vote, I must admit, a lot closer than what I would have thought it was. But luckily for myself, I was quite happy to see that the two tracks that it came down to, which had a bit of a tiebreaker, so to speak, was St. Croix and the Daytona road course. And I'm very happy to mention that Daytona was the winning track. So next week, we will be broadcasting live from the sunny beaches of Daytona in the USA for round 7 of the Sector 1 Season 11 Apex season. For Category 2 next week, and I hope that everybody is able to join us. Before we round out comms tonight, I would just like to say thank you very much to Renegade for being our race director for the Category 1A guys.
My pleasure. As you mentioned with next week with Daytona, that's a race that I'm looking forward to myself. I admit I was a voter of that track as well. Previous history, that's where I picked up my first race win back in season 7, so yeah.
I think the last time I raced at Daytona, I think I got beaten by Freelix that was season 8, I think that was.
That's also where I pulled off the ultimate strategy too. I did a one-stopper.
That's where Freelix, I thought I put in a brilliant drive, but he pulled a masterstroke in regards to strategy. So I will be trying to not let that happen again, but again, I'm just going to stick with my usual strategy of drive fast, don't crash. So rather than a waffle on, I think we shall wrap things up here in the comms box. Thank you to everybody who joined us tonight. Thank you for the pleasure of your company. Thank you for tuning in. And I hope that you can join us again next week for all of the racing action. I'd like to say thank you also to our sponsors in the form of ABR Automotive, Boxer Beauty, LJ Media and Design, and Adelaide Ceramic Coatings for all of their support so far in the season. Their support and help certainly goes a long way. So I have nothing further to say, so I think it is a good time for me to say goodnight and wish you all the best. Enjoy your week, and we shall see you in 7 days' time. Thank you very much.
Hello everybody, welcome back to Sector 1. We are here tonight for some Category 1 racing action around all states and villages.
Let's go. I wake up to a little bit of drool on my pillow, feel like it's gonna be a bad day. Yeah, I'm tired of shit, and the coffee ain't hit yet, damn, ain't that great. I don't wanna go to work, cause my boss is a jerk, and I'm not even that paid. I need a change in my life, cause I don't feel alive, and there's nothing that makes me happy. Hold my beer for a minute, I'm about to quit my job, cash in for a ticket. I'm going on a trip, and I don't plan to visit. I'm gonna stay there till I feel like I'm winning, and this is just the beginning. I need a big change, only feels like living. I need a big swing, home runs I'm hitting, and I'll never look back, moving on till I get it all. And we all got dreams, we all want things, but what you gonna do for it? How you gonna move for it? What you gonna be? And do you believe you can do anything? But what you gonna do for it? How you gonna move for it? What you gonna be?
Oh my!
Oh no! No! You can't do that!
You see that steering wheel off that curve.
Fuzzy is somehow keeping it on the track surface! It's a spectacular drive, and he will take his first win in the top flight of Sector 1.